Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Friday morning trading session. All right, let's see what we got here. So the market's continuing to be really strong, surprisingly strong. We've got the NQ here, and let's take a look here at the overnight. I guess we'll do it here on the Raptor. Market's also a little bit active this morning. Oops. Let's not do it on the Raptor. Let's do it here on the Falcon. Oh, actually, the overnight a little bit quiet. The market closed right about here, around 44.09, 44.10. A little bit of a rally up, and then a decline right back down, and there we are, more or less in the same region. So it's not going to look like a great big opening gap or anything like that. It'll be interesting to see what comes of this, though. Look at the size of this bar here on the Eagle. This is the opening bar, of course. Lots of trading going on and no advance or decline in prices. It tells you a lot of traders are trading here, and with the lack of a follow through, that usually leads to what's known as a washout. Okay, here we got a chance on the hawk for a red bar buy, but rather than buy it, I'm going to set up to sell it. And this is pretty aggressive for an early trade. And this is actually very aggressive for an early trade, but we'll see. We'll see if we can't get anything out of this. So all I'm doing is looking to take advantage of the failure of the red bar buy, and that's because we've already had a little bit of a test of the extreme here. You see right here, the market's topped out, come down, retested, broke the low, or this swing low, came up, retested, and now I'm looking for it to perhaps head lower. We're working on a first micro macro cross signal. And it's only a couple minutes into the session, so not the ideal time to trade, but I'm hoping that the market may pick a direction early and stay with it. So here we are, we're kind of testing these trend lines now. There we go. Come on now. I'll get ready with a more aggressive stop strategy here. So we would have hit our profit target already as well as our break even. I've got runners in on both. I'm trying to give this trade a little bit of wiggle room. Although I don't think I'd be prepared to let it peel against me too much. Now we're contending with these lows down here. Come on, don't swing, just give me the move. Just break down a little bit there. Now, if I were smart, I'd probably take my profit. Come on, there we go. See if we can't get it down to 4,400. Not that there's anything very significant about that price, but you know, traders do like even numbers. 4,400, 4,410, 4,420, and so on. Come on, NQ, don't fail now. Now, if I were really brave, I'd leave my stop back at the break even. This candle right here, again, suggestive that a lot of buying pressure coming in. The sellers did take control of the market. We got this great big wick on it, so hopefully we'll see the sellers continue to maintain control. Come on. You stinkers, get down there. And you can see how aggressive parabolics are. Just what you want in this type of situation. If the trend is going to swing here, which is starting to look like it will, I could just take my open profit. Yeah, they're going to tap me here in a second. Well, that's all right. That's not bad for a early effort. With parabolics, if you like to use parabolics for a stop strategy, as I like to do when you start to get some open profit, you're going to notice one thing with the parabolics. Namely that when the trend first starts, the parabolics are very loose. And then as the market begins to struggle with the trend, the parabolics get in really tight. So here on our trade, when the parabolics got very close to price, I had a pretty good idea that they were going to stop us out. So the market actually bounced up here rather quickly. I was just about to hit the close button when prices were still down here. Probably could have made another $40 or maybe $50. But it's something to watch for. Parabolics will tip you off sometimes when the market trend is slowing. Oh, way to go, Jim. Jim says he's out on the YM plus 30 ticks on 3 contracts. Well done. It says, I'm done for the day. I got slaughtered yesterday. Learned something very important about the cloud to cloud ratios. Now that's these bands here. Jim's been doing a little bit of work watching the bands kind of suggest overbought and oversold markets. So when these bands get especially wide, Jim's been looking at shorting a retracement back to the hard edge. Yeah, yesterday was a tough day. The afternoon session, of course, the market just took off and never looked back. The morning was rather miserable. And that's something to keep in mind too. If you're ever trading and the morning session is uncooperative, you can usually anticipate something better in the afternoon. Oh, I see. Jim says the problem he was having with the cloud-to-cloud retracement is that they would only retrace about 20 to 20, what did you write here, 23 to 26 ticks. And typically on a retracement like this, he'd get 35 to 40. Now, Jim was watching the YM. This is on the NQ, but just so that you know what he was getting at. Okay, so let's see if we can't find anything worthwhile here. We've got important support down here now. We know that. Getting a green bar sell. Do you think the market's going to make another press lower? Problem is we've got to test the extreme here again. Perhaps a buy is the safer scenario, even though the market is currently in a bit of a downtrend. We'll see whether this holds. So there was room here for that green bar sell to be profitable. And we're getting a couple of signals, getting signals here on the Raptor. This is going to be a little bit tricky here. Testing the bottom end. Now the signal actually generated here. Oh, look at that. You stinkers. Come on, sellers, where are you? Okay, so we've got a nice little double pullback into the hard edge, the market coming out, generating a signal. We know there is lots of buying support here. Lots of selling too, but typically support areas show us buying. So the buyer's very, very strong here. Not quite as strong here, and you see the bars are a little bit thinner here, so we really need to see some selling activity now. And you know the best place to keep your stop is right there. That gives you ample room to ride out any initial swing. But it's also a little bit rich for my current situation, so all right, looking for some sellers to come into the market now. Come on. So we're getting a lower swing here. This is so far is still encouraging for our trade. And I'm trying to stay with the sellers at the moment because we did have that first trade that was profitable. Now, I should be rolling my stop in here. If I get one more lower bar, I'm going to roll my stop in much more aggressively. Come on, don't be like that. crude oil getting set to head a little bit lower. Let me bring this over here. Oops, crude oil just kind of moved on me. We were working on a trend change signal here in crude oil on the Falcon. Notice the trend line changed color. Here's the down, here's the up, here's the down, there's the signal. And a nice move lower as a result. All right, so here's our Raptor trade. I've got my couple bars lower. I'm going to roll my stop in because if they fail here, they're very likely to try to make a run to the highs. And what I'm going to do here also is I'm going to go perhaps with the bar high low. And essentially put the squeeze on the sellers now. They're either going to force the market lower here or you may as well take me out. I guess that trend line is no longer relevant. Oh, here come those buyers again. All right, well, it was worth a try. We'll see now whether or not I was too tight with those stops. Oh dear. My green bar sell trade, I left that one in place. Well, we're working on a first micro macro cross, although it's into green or yellow bars. So you can probably see already from all these yellow bars that we're printing here that we've got a market that is stuck in a sideways range. And until we get outside of that range, it's probably going to be a little difficult trading. But we've got two significant levels now to trade. We've got the high right here, so first micro macro cross would be very welcome. And we've got well-defined lows. So a situation where you probably could just do an OCO type order. We're getting a trend change signal and a late filter entry here on the Falcon, which tends to be a high probability signal, but this market is waffling. So like I say, the safer signal is to do an OCO type thing where we're going to buy above here and we're going to sell down here. There we go. And you can kind of ignore everything else. So you can see prices still continuing to waffle. Possible trend change signal lower. We're getting the early part of that. We're getting the down. Here's the up. We'll see if it comes back with a down. Notice our late filter entry signal never engaged. So something really hinky is going on here. Jim says the DAX has got support on a triple bottom. We'll see whether or not that comes into play. And we're almost near the top of the hour, which would give us a very tight trading range on the day. A lot of times we'll see a significant move about this time, about going 10 minutes in to the top of the hour. Oh, the advanced decline number's pretty much dead even. 1316 on the buy, 1380 on the sell. That would explain the neutrality that we're seeing here also. See, prices are just skewered by the median line here on our support and resistance sweep. Got up to the primary resistance, came back down. Did they hit primary support? No. Didn't wander too far from that median line. Are we expecting a report? This is abnormally stagnant even for a Friday. There's not much to do. Yikes, what a mess. Look at how the filter is breaking up, how the trend line is breaking up. I really thought we'd see it break by now, but obviously it's not. So right now the bears showing a little bit more strength. This current bar, bearish. We'll see whether or not we get a follow-through bar. Now, trading a breakout, it can be tricky also because typically after a breakout, we expect that whole retest thing to develop, right? So we have here the highs, let's say it breaks through the top. We expect this part, we expect the retest. And the problem being, if the retest holds, that's great, but if the retest doesn't hold, it's going to get very, very deep back into this channel and either continue channeling or just flat out make a reversal and go the other way. That's why very often I tell you the easiest way to trade these types of things is to let it break out, retest, and it will retest, and then look for your buying opportunity. And vice versa on the sell side. Oh, come on. Just checking the trading calendar, I don't see anything on the books today that should cause the market to be so stagnant. I guess they're just happy with the prices the way they are. And that happens too. You know, all right, well, we'll minimize that. And you can see we've got the same scenario in all our tools, regardless of whether you're following the Eagle, the Raptor, the Falcon. Ay, ay, ay. There we go. There we go. Okay, now here on the Eagle, we've got a very sloppy rule of three, but you can see the principle is the same, right? We're getting support here, three signals against the hard edge. We can probably expect the market to rally from here a bit. Okay, so we've got our break-even trigger. What I did was on the hawk here, the break-even, I didn't want the stops to roll the break-even, so I actually canceled the stop because we've got a runner in play here. And there we are back at break-even. Come on, give me one more bar. Just in case I need to cancel this again. I'm trying to get up near the highs. There we go. Oh, come on. Just finish this bar. Let's go. Same thing here with our breakout trade. You can see how I mentioned how the stops on the parabolics stay loose at the beginning of a trend. A little bit uncomfortable sometimes, but this is only a single contract, so we should still be within our 2% risk parameters. The OCO function, of course, does not take into account your risk settings, so you need to know approximately what your risk exposure should be. All right, that's close enough to break even for me on that one. We should be on break even on the hawk. Okay, there we go. We'll see if they can get up there now. Come on. The highs of the day, of course, are going to be the stumbling block near 44.20. Oh, just hovering. No! Don't turn around. Nuts. Shoot. Those scoundrels. crude oil offering us a breakout opportunity here on the Falcon. Trend change occurred up here, a little bit of a trend line touch. Market moving a little bit sideways, so we obviously know where the bottom end of this trading range is. And no doubt 46.70, a little bit of an early reaction to this 46.60 area. Okay, let's take a look at this whole retest thing that I was telling you about before. So we've broken out now. Now we've come back, we're retesting. We really need to see the buyers step in here somewhere, or it's going to void the trade. The lower they get, the weaker they tend to be. They're reacting right here in the middle, of course. Of course they would. Why would they not react up here where it would be easy to make a decision? No, they got to react right in the middle of the trading channel, so you have little to no clue as to whether or not the breakout is going to stick or whether it's going to fail. Sorry, I'm just snooping around here trying to get a handle on what might be coming next for us. And they're just so content to swing back and forth. That it's making it a little bit difficult. But the buyers did have their turn, didn't do much with it. So we're still watching this whole retest zone. If that fails, if the market ticks up here a little bit, say gets to 44.15 or so, and starts to head lower again, then I think we're going to see the sellers make an effort. Or it may just be Friday. I don't know what the weather's like in Chicago and New York. It's a pretty nice weekend, or shaping up to be a pretty nice weekend here. Maybe they've already booked their trades and packing up their desk for the week. Say, see you Monday. We'll give them a few minutes here. Again, I'm going to have to duck out of the room in about 20 minutes' time. All right, possible late filter entry and trend change signal here on the Falcon. I'm going to be, well, it's the trading room, right? I wouldn't recommend this as a trade. I do think it's going to work out, but really it's the kind of thing here, the thing to do is actually put a onesie on it. Because there's a good chance the market's going to try to retest this whole 44.17 area. Your stop should actually be a little bit further away still. Stop should be way up here around 44.20 because that's where we know where the real trouble lies. That's where they're really having a hard time getting above. Obviously, the further you can place your stop away. And now we still only have warning dots. I'm anticipating an entry here. And sometimes the Falcon will fool you. The Hawk will give you a hash mark immediately after the warning dot. The Falcon, however, sometimes can print 2 warning dots in a row. You see, like we have 3 warning dots here before it actually prints the buy arrow. Not that that was a buy signal. I'm just using that as an example. Oh, come on. All right, there we go. Oh, and more of the same. The no follow-through day today. Here we go. Come on. Get that break-even trigger. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to see if we can't get a runner on this, because I'm still expecting the market to get down to that 4,400 area. Oop, I guess we better enable our stops. There we go. We're at break-even. Oops. Come on. Oh my goodness, if we can just see them fail here. Yeah, Jim says the DAX is doing the same thing. Four hits on the lows and still holding. Oh man. Come on. Let's just ride out that one little swing. Okay, we might actually have a chance on this one if this bar finishes lower. Come on. Oh, man. They're just brutal today. I could hold my stop back still, but you know what? The way that the market is behaving today, I just don't think I want to do that. Well, we'll let this trade finish out, and then I think we're going to call it a day. We may see the market move this afternoon, but right now, nada. Oh, here we go. Here's our chance. Come on. Oh, come on. One more bar. Let's get 2 red bars in a row. There we go. Come on. Come on. All right. No, they're going to fail again. Just no follow through right now. Nope. Well, what can I tell you? They're just not prepared to follow through on either side. They tried to break to the upside, they tried to break to the downside, and still nothing. So we're probably going to see a little bit of a rally now. They'll probably end up somewhere back inside this trading range. I think we're going to button up the room, though. It's pretty obvious that we're not going to miss out on a whole lot. And yeah, we'll get back at it on Monday. All right, you guys, have yourselves a great weekend. We'll talk to you later. Bye for now.